Oh, Gnome.
No, Gnome. Oh, Gnome, not this thing. Well, it's not. It's a Gnome extension. It's not exactly Gnome,
right?
But it's Gnome adjacent,
right?
So.
And yeah, so you're welcome, Gnome. We're not going to bring up anything bad about you today. But yeah, Gnome adjacency doesn't get you much leeway, I guess. And we're going to talk about a lot of a lack of leeway today. But
yeah, we have a couple of topics that fall into that category.
But my question is, why?
I question that too. Yeah, why?
Okay, why? What? Okay, we're talking about the latest thing that happened in the Dash to Panel Gnome extension community. So Charles Gagnon has been working on Dash to Panel for quite a while now. Took the reins over from Jason DeRose a while ago, and recently. And on this show, we have talked about many times payer developers, right?
Yeah.
It's something that I think is central to software development. You can't really get around it. So, I mean, if you can.
Yeah, I mean, find a way to support if you can. Yeah.
Right. Pay what you can, if you can. Charles Gagnon took it one step further and dropped an update a little while ago that added and by the way, Dash to Panel is something that takes your Gnome panel, like so when you hit the super key, it pops up there on the left, and you can add stuff to it or whatever. It's your normal launcher, but it's kind of hidden behind, the actual Gnome interface.
Yeah.
And Dash to Panel takes that sidebar and then slaps it down on the bottom, so that you have a full-on panel. You have a menu that you can pop up. You can do a lot of customization to it. You've got the traditional like Windows 7-y, Windows 10-y kind of icons down there that you can click on. And you can certainly...
Like that's where your app indicators would go if you have that extension as well. Like all that stuff is down there.
Right, because I know we have quite a few non-Gnome users here, so Dash to Panel may be news to them. But a new update came out that placed a heart icon down there in the icon panel, and when you click on it, it popped up a pop-up that basically solicited donations, and you couldn't close it for 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
You had to experience it. You had to live it for 20 seconds.
And maybe 20 seconds is a long time. I don't know. It's not an eternity though.
Right. And then when you close it, it never comes back up again, but the icon stays down there, and you are able, with a little salt and pepper, you can get rid of the icon too. So, Dan, what's your take on this, and tell me why you think it's the worst idea ever?
I don't know if it was the worst idea. I think it's actually a crafty thing. I think, unless you sometimes put that in front of people, they don't think of it. And there's a lot of other projects that do this too. We'll start right out of the gate before you even get your operating system. Elementary does this, right? It's a donate what you can. You can put in 0 and still download, Elementary.
Yep.
OS, totally fine. Or you can put in some money and say, hey, I like what you're doing. I really appreciate it. Here you go. And so it in a way does that before you even got started. It's soliciting some donation.
Absolutely. But there was as soon as that came out, or as soon as because it was out for a little while before I think the articles got written about it.
Yeah,
there were a lot of haters on that particular idea.
Seems to have simmered down now, but yes.
Well, yeah, I think I think the laser got pointed at something else after that.
Right.
And then it just kind of moves from one thing to another, because I think a lot of developers a lot of time need to say it out loud that hey, I like doing this. This is something that I really, really enjoy doing, but I can't do it forever, and I can't do it for free.
Right.
Because I have a lot of people depending on me. A lot of people give me a lot of feedback about what needs to happen or whatever, but to get the motivation to actually do that kind of thing, maybe a small subset of you can subsidize the development for this particular tool.
Yeah, I'll just go to say, maybe it actually helps benefit the project even more directly than just giving money to a developer, they have some out-of-pocket costs for all of these things, I'm sure. And so whether that's like, you're paying for GitHub runners or, some sort of hosting for your website, all of that stuff is
we
not
know that
free.
stuff firsthand. I mean, we pay
Absolutely.
for domain registration, website,
we
podcast
got servers,
hosting,
all that stuff.
The Discord fanciness. Like, there's a lot of stuff. And by the way, thank you for anybody that
that
sends us a little bit of
support us.
dosh to take care of all of that.
Right.
But there are certainly costs to all of that kind of thing.
That's going right back into the project when you do that.
Yeah, and we make it pretty apparent, right? Like, if you don't want to hear it, you have to skip it.
Yeah, but you can.
Right, but we don't run ads or anything like that. We just solicit for ourselves what we need to maintain. And I think a lot of times that's what these developers are doing as well.
Essentially, yeah.
Right. And so if you can imagine, this change didn't go down well.
No.
Almost immediately there was a GitHub comment or issue brought up, 2259. It was aggressive donation push. And it goes on to say, and it does kind of define it fairly well, right? It dumped an animated icon in my panel in the primary position where most used launcher normally is. There was no clear way to remove this intrusion into my workflow. The context menu item of donation options was not something that appeared to give me that option. I did then find that in donation options, there was a countdown before the option to remove the annoyance was even displayed. I do not think this is respectful of the user's time or preferences. So, okay.
Yeah, so that talks a little bit about the implementation, not so much that, people shouldn't solicit for donation. It just, maybe the way it was implemented is a little intrusive, if you will.
I think, okay, so the only thing I really actually take issue with is some of the commenters on this particular issue brought up that the heart was actually in position 1 of the panel, which meant that I don't know what the shortcut is, but there's a shortcut to launch that particular application. Well, it's bound to 1, like Control 1, or I don't know what it is, but it's bound to 1. And when you push that, instead of your first application coming up, the donation thing came up.
Right.
That breaks the entire user experience, and
it does.
I will back you up.
If there's a bug here, that's the one to pick on.
Right, exactly. And I think that right there is really what the issue should have been talking about. Right? Like, this is a technical thing that, hey,
correct.
That's in the wrong spot. Please move that. Like, but that's what the issue should have been. Like, there shouldn't have been paragraphs upon paragraphs upon paragraphs about telling me.
Yeah, the original complaint wasn't too far off of that.
Right.
But, boy, some of these other comments, they say don't read the comments, right?
I always read the comments. It's my downfall.
Some of the other ones here are wowzers. Yeah, they light right into it. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So please understand that the thing that we read off was probably the nicest thing that was said. You can go read them if you want. I don't recommend it, but
we got a link to the GitHub issue, and we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, it'll be there. Spelunk at your own peril. And so yes, that right there, sure, that is an issue. I don't think that was really necessarily meant. And if you dig into those comments, you're going to find out that Charles Gagnon,
it wasn't intended.
Yeah, Charles Gagnon gave it the old whoopsie and gave it a change. I think it was within a day or two of that particular thing being brought up. Cool, easy fix. We fixed that.
He fixed it quickly.
Yeah. And then we got into the debate of whether it was 20 seconds. Is that too much or too little or at all, or donations at all? Should you be soliciting them this way?
Yeah.
I don't think that outside of breaking the user experience, right, like this, right, I don't really think there's a wrong way to ask for donations, right? So outside of breaking do not pop up in the middle of my thing 8 times while I'm using it or whatever. Once a month, sure.
Right.
Once every couple of weeks, also pretty cool.
Maybe when you launch it for the first time, that's fine.
Exactly. And I'm channeling like WinRAR. You remember every time you opened it up, it was like, hey,
over there. Yeah.
You could keep using this for forever or whatever, but you could also buy an entire license. And I mean,
never get bugged again.
Even that was okay with me because I'm sitting in front of free and open source software, which is developed by real people using their real time and real effort and real knowledge and real skill in putting all of this stuff together. It is, to me, sometimes when I look deep down into that Pandora's box, it is magic. The way that a lot of these developers can put stuff together and it work. I mean, I look into it and it's like, oh, this is all spaghetti to me. But the fact that I can do that I can download
I can pick out a function or two, but probably not the whole program.
Right, exactly. And you're telling me that I can download this and I can use this for free into perpetuity. Just
yeah. Well, part of that license that you didn't read actually tells you that you kind of do have to accept it as is.
Right. And that, I think, is kind of the crux of where I'm going, right? Like, this software is given to you as is. You don't really get, outside of suggesting, not demanding, but outside of suggesting that maybe this thing could be changed, maybe this thing could be done a little bit better, maybe, just...
Yeah, and if something broke, you say, hey, look, I mean, it worked before, it's not working now, this broke, can you help? I mean,
right.
That's fine.
That's about as far as you can take it. But as far as I am concerned, where I'm sitting, that software is what it is. And if you don't like it, you can fork it. And I think it was 3 comments down, by the way, in the in the
obviously
GitHub
that's happened with this particular project before.
Right.
That's not the first time, right?
Oh, that's right. We went through the whole entire thing of it where it was dash to dock. And then Ubuntu took that and made it into their dash to dock. But then it was it was forked into dash to panel, which was originally started in the Zorin project, Zorn OS.
Right.
And then from that particular fork was created this dash to panel, which is now the one that I think everybody tends to use.
And it's changed to maintainers.
Right. Yeah. So Jason DeRose was the original forker. And then it was handed off to the current guy, Charles. Well, not the current guy anymore. We're almost there. Charles Gagnon, who is the one that implemented the particular change. But
so some changes have happened here,
right? And so when I say like, you do whatever you want to with it. If you don't like it, you can change it. 3rd comment down, the code to change it. If you want, if it is truly that important to you, someone even did the work for you for free. You could just take that.
You just patch it in and you're done.
Right. Recompile your own and bingo bango, you got yourself workable the way that it used to be. And again, I think that's for the impatient folks. Because as you come to find out, you start digging a little further, you find out that Charles was like, whoops, well, okay.
I didn't mean that. Yeah, like, I don't use the hotkey thing. So I'm sorry, I didn't know it was broken. I'll fix that.
Exactly. And quickly reverted that thing. Eventually, Jason DeRose chimed in about the whole controversy, noting that here I've got a quote here. As the person who started this repo several years ago, and even though Charles G99 has probably put in much more total time into the project than me at this point, I feel compelled to chime in here. I feel this sort of intrusive advertising is against the spirit of the project. Which led Charles to reply, that I didn't expect. I'm still enjoying working on the extension. I just can't justify to do so as much as I'd like nowadays. Though the donations would help with that, but clearly I'm wrong. So yeah, I removed all the donation option and I'll be looking for replacement maintainers.
Fixed it for you, buddy.
Yeah. Job done, everybody. Problem solved. The maintainer has quit. Man. I don't know what it is about the internet or about free software or what that gets people so hot and bothered about changes like these that the whole entire thing snowballs into the person that's doing the thing for you. All the work, all the time, all the stuff. They slip up, do something that you perceive as wrong, and then they quit because of all of the flack that they're getting because of it. There's no real conversation.
It's demanding.
Yeah, it's demands. And I mean, again, don't read the comments, but if you do, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just not good to read that kind of thing. And it always ends up in a situation like this where I don't have to take this.
Yeah,
I'm just going to pack it up and go. That's fine.
Yeah, you're the maintainer. You're just a tipping point. I mean, and if you keep doing that to these folks, you'll find it. You'll find where their tipping point is.
Yeah. And before you're like, but it was the original guy that came back and said this is against the spirit of the project. Jason DeRose did come back at the end of the conversation and say, after reading through many of the comments that followed here and elsewhere and reconsidering my opinion, I feel that I shouldn't have put in my 2 cents here.
Here's the thing, I mean, I guess Jason, he's got a stake in the game. He's somebody that was a contributor, at least in the past,
right?
And obviously led up to where Charles took over. And so I feel like if anybody's got a say, it's someone that has contributed.
Exactly. And I think, I don't think what Jason said was necessarily wrong or over the top or anything like that.
I don't think either one of them were,
But what I think Jason came to realize was that his comments, in addition to all of the anger, all of the vitriol, all of the yelling, didn't help things and may very well have pushed Charles over the edge to make the decision to quit the entire thing, right? So in context, which is the entire point of all of this, right? Like, suggesting that something can be changed is always encouraged with open source software, unless explicitly told at the top of the thing, I don't want your whatever. But this is not one of those times.
Right. I mean, that's how software works. It's open to change.
Right.
It's iterative.
But reading the room, taking the time to understand what's going on around you really, really makes the difference when it comes to human interaction.
Here's the real kicker, Leo. Do you actually need this? This is a necessity you must have?
Right.
If you don't like it, don't use it.
Well, the
it's
thing
like you don't like what's on TV, change the channel.
Yeah.
You don't like what's on the radio, turn the knob.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The one thing that got me was, I forget where it was, but there was a specific comment that was like, this is mission critical for me. How dare you make this change? This is really, adding on time, making my life worse, and just, and it's like, really? You don't stage your updates? If in mission,
there's that, yeah.
Like if it is truly mission critical to you, why wouldn't you be? I mean, at the very least, take a backup that you can roll back to. But I mean, it does. I don't know that.
Well, I gotta ask. I mean, it's just a GNOME extension. Like, what about this makes it mission critical for you?
Yeah,
that like regular GNOME can't do. Like, launch your programs?
Well, I think it's a lot. I mean? It's a lot of the hotkey jazz that I guess you get muscle memory on or whatever. But
I suppose,
right?
Is it mission critical? Like, you can't function without it? Like it all of a sudden your program stopped launching?
Yeah, but and I think that's really kind of what it boils down to, right? Like, I think you can work around it.
At the very least. Annoyance? You got me on that one. And is it inconvenient? Possibly.
Right.
Does it add time? Sure. But that doesn't mean it's broken.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. But I think we harp on this every now and then, and we're gonna keep on harping on it. But
I think we have to.
Yeah, you be nice to people. I think that
constructive.
That is,
if you want to give criticism, make it constructive, not woe is me, I guess.
yeah.
While that may happen, it doesn't add any good context to allow people to fix the actual issues, right?
Yep. I think that's the important part of it, right? Like if you're going to give feedback, make sure it's constructive, and leave the emotion out of it, because that adding emotion to a technical problem is never, ever going to help. Like I know that you're panicking, but
right.
Let's solve the problem that caused the panic. Let's not Band-Aid the panic.
Right.
Because
right.
The panic is a symptom of a problem, but work the problem out. And when you do that, I think you're forced to be nice. You have to, because when you leave the emotion out of it, there's no room to name call, to be over the top, to be angry, to be any of that. You just got the facts, man, and you're just dealing with fixing a problem.
Yeah, and I just pretend you're Joe Friday, I guess.
I don't know who Joe Friday is. Who's Joe Friday?
Oh, you gotta watch Dragnet.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yep. I actually did grow up watching Dragnet, but so Joe's one of the cops.
Yeah, he's like, just the facts, man.
He's the one with the slick black hair.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I know exactly who that is. All right. Never mind. I do know who Joe Friday is. I just didn't know his name.
So just take the right approach and get right to the facts.
That's right.
Stick to that.
That's
the way
right. So if you didn't know, I don't know, maybe you are watching it on YouTube right now, but if you didn't know, we're actually on YouTube too, sure. We come in through the old ear holes through Apple Podcasts and Google Nope, they killed that.
Spotify?
Spotify.
YouTube Music, I guess. You can do podcasts on YouTube Music.
We got the regular old plain RSS feed that you can shove into anything. So we don't even have to be a podcast player if you don't want it to be. So we have all of that, but we are on the YouTubes. So if you're watching on the YouTubes, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. But also, if you're using one of the fancy apps like Spotify or Apple Podcasts or something like that, hey, throw the rating in there, man. I don't want to tell you. I don't know. I don't want to tell you what rating to give us. I'm not your dad, but you could give us a good one. That'd be cool. But for everything else, there's also Tilvids. So our
edutainment.
That's right. Our recent Snapified episode of Linux User Space did see the Snap history pop up over there. So if you're into the edutainment scene, if you just want the entertaining, educational, historical stuff, that's where that's all going to be.
Absolutely.
And there's all kinds of good stuff over on Tilvids too anyway, and you can get to it through any PeerTube instance. You don't have to be part of Tilvids. They don't pull in anything else, but they do federate out. So from any PeerTube instance, you can watch anything on Tilvids. But we also post it.
Yeah, and that's just an RSS feed too, so you can watch that pretty much anywhere as well.
Exactly. And you don't even have to watch it on Tilvids. We post that out in some of the social media stuff, so you can just click play and then watch it from wherever you are. But just like Charles Gagnon, though it is not an unskippable 20 seconds, there is that button on the podcast catcher thing. We too also maybe to also get solicit donations.
We like your support. Yeah. We'll try not to put a big giant heart in front of our face or anything. But,
I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now.
But, if it is there, you can just, know we like you and you can like us and give us $1 or $2.
Yeah, that heart is for you. Right? Yeah. But
all 20 seconds worth.
That's right. So it's not just a donation either, by the way. You're actually paying for stuff.
You do get stuff back.
That's right. The dollar gets all the announcements, and well, I guess anybody gets the announcements. But the dollar will get you a Lemmy account if you want to have the cool @lemmy.linuxuserspace.show handle instead of Lemmy World, Lemmy ML, whenever you want to go sign up over there. You can sign up with us with that.
Or if you like Discord, you can jump into the patron space on our Discord server too.
I forget about all that too, and I'm actually updating that more often. I'm getting good, getting there.
Yeah, we're there. We do engagement.
That's right. So yeah, you get access to a really cool secret channel in Discord that nobody knows about except you. And then $3 will get you the show before it releases, as well as a high quality version of the show. And then $5 and $10. $5 will get you the show before the show in your ears.
Yes.
And 10 will get you the show before the show for your eyes. So the audio version and the video version of the pre-show and the post-show.
You'll get the whole thing, the stuff that we cut and everything. Yeah, you'll get it all.
That's right. Oh, and your name in the credits. Like no matter who you are, no matter what tier you subscribe to, $1 or more, get your name in the credits. That I may or may not remember to put right here, right now, and just roll them again because for fun.
I mean, for sure volume, like if you're in the $3 and up, you end up in the show notes.